Hello Internet, and welcome to my very early live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 203. Normally the chapter comes out like Thursday to Friday, but it's only Tuesday evening right now, and it's already out. Anyway, when we last left our heroes, we wrapped up the drama at St. Raphael's Convent. We found out that Sumire is filling in for the 7th Pillar, whatever that means. But Hibana, Kareem, Hoyan, and Kishiri all escaped. Except the imps of Sakura and Clematis, I think, seem to still maybe be following them, or that was just a shot of Hibana thinking about them. I'm not sure. Anyway, we then left all that for a farcical adventure with Arthur and Vulcan, Lisa, and you, as Vulcan leads Arthur to some fake orichalcum, getting all of Asakusa involved. But plans go awry when Vulcan accidentally gets Arthur to think that the fake orichalcum is in the Nether and not at the pickle shop. Also, there's someone else in the Nether that Joker seems to think will be an ally against the Empire, and I imagine it's all going to come together in this chapter or the chapters afterwards. Anyway, chapter 203, A Discovery. Our picture here, I can't quite make it out. We see some, what are either hands or forks, with the caption, "Do you remember the taste of your family's love?" Not quite sure what to make of that. But anyway, we jump right on in, with what looks to be some kind of, like, exposition about orichalcum. "O Arthur, thou Night King, turn to the Nether in search of orichalcum, even though it's not there." Orichalcum. A legendary metal from the fabled island of Atlantis. A mineral of extreme rarity. A stone shrouded in myth has entered the realm of legendary. A perfect fit for forging the legendary sword Excalibur. If you seek to forge Excalibur, I can think of no better fit than orichalcum. That sounds kind of like whatever children's book got Arthur into knights that we heard about way back during Company 4. Or I think it came from a book, right? I know it had something to do with his parents, also, I need to reread that or wait till Season 2 comes out for all that detail. Anyway, I, the Night King Arthur, have unraveled the whereabouts of Excalibur. And Lisa just looks at him, "You're looking for orichalcum. If you end up disappointed by finding orichalcum because you went in looking for Excalibur, I'm going to lose it. It's all written right here on this treasure map. It's darkest beneath the lighthouse. It's written in ancient runes, so I know not the meaning. But it says dark, I know that much, and that's enough for me. The darkness it speaks of is the Nether. Excalibur is in the Nether." But it says the first shop you stopped by too, right? Didn't you think there's something fishy about the first place we stopped by today? You know, the pickle merchant? And Arthur turns to you. "How am I supposed to remember where the first place we went was? I think it's pointing us to the first of all lands, Atlantis." And Lisa just, glares at him. "I doubt that's what it's doing." And Vulcan calls over to you. "You, he's too far gone. We're going to need a change of strategy." And Arthur, rallies the troops. "Onwards to the Nether!" And the three of them are like, "Ooh." And they're walking along the street. And Vulcan is talking to you, behind Arthur. "You listening, you? The first thing you need to know about idiots is that they're hasty. They jump to conclusions without thinking." "Sure looks like it." "Have you ever heard the term just short circuit?" "I think so, maybe." "Well, do you know what happens when you directly connect the positive and negative terminals of a battery?" It can start fires, right? You have to have something in between them." I see, so that's a short circuit." It's kind of like idiots have a short circuit in their brain. You're supposed to think about things from every angle and look at all the available options. And then you find the best available one. And you looks at him. "I'll keep it in mind." But the problem here was there were too many things between him and the answer, and he couldn't get there. Oh god, maybe his voltage is low. I think he's running on a watch battery, to be honest. And Lisa kind of smiles. "But man, this takes me back. Lessons with Vol and you. You mean back when you were, working for the White Clad?" Lisa's also just kind of a weird character, and then I feel like she never quite got the resolution she needed to be where she is. I don't remember if this was in the manga. I seem to recall Giovanni getting away with Lisa. I know in the anime he did not. Vulcan rescued Lisa at the last minute. That might have been the manga, and I've just forgotten it. But but I don't remember her appearing at all between the end of the Nether, either if she was taken away, like my memory told me, or in the anime where she's, like, unconscious, and, like, kind of brain dead, like Vegetable, to her showing up after the Holy Salt Temple, where she's just kind of fine. So maybe we'll eventually find out what happened there. But at this point, I'm getting more and more doubtful about that. And Lisa's involvement is just kind of this weird, like, black mark on an otherwise good series. Anyway, but man, this takes me back. Lessons with Vol and you smiles at her, and with you watching the whole thing. And Vulcan, like, grabs them around the neck. Well, we're gonna get this short circuit fixed. And Arthur, like, here, it's finally, like, noticed they're talking without him, and he turns back. What are you doing? Hurry up and look for the entrance to the Nether. And Vulcan looks at him. We need to fix this whole broken situation, too. And they find what looks like an entrance to the Nether. It's definitely an underground thing. Probably the Nether, if I knew how to speak. And Arthur looks down the passageway. So we can get into the Nether from here? And Yu turns to Vulcan. Are we going to be alright entering without permission? Well, it's not like we were the ideal firefighters on the way here. And we have a flashback to a little girl trying to trying to get Arthur's attention. Mr. Fireman, my little kitty's stuck in a tree and can't get down. Please help me. We're in the middle of the main quest. We don't have time for side quests right now. Bye. The three of them are like, ah! And Arthur is still focused on the door. We can't turn back now. Yes, we can. Let's turn back. But they don't turn back because they are in the Nether. And Yu was kind of like talking to himself. Here we are in the Nether. We told him we could turn back. We told him he could turn back, but he wouldn't listen. Listen. And Lisa turns to Vulcan. I think Yu's afraid of the Nether, and he snapped. Well, it's his first time. And Arthur kind of like bops him on the head. Keep it together, Yu. And Yu kind of like rubs his head. Night King Arthur, what did I do? We're in the Nether. If you lose your head, this place will look right inside your soul. Keep it together. Otherwise, the abyss will break your spirit. Okay, understood. And as they kind of like walk off, Lisa turns to Vulcan, who says, I know. What are we even doing here? You've come this far into the Nether, but how are you holding up, Lisa? Oh, are we actually going to like get some time spent with Lisa's mental state that Ohkubo's just kind of left by the wayside for 100 chapters now? I'm sure you can't help but remember everything that happened here in the past. There's no use looking back. I'm just looking forward now. Though I won't lie, I still feel some terror towards Dr. Giovanni. She like, kind of like clenches her fists. But I know the time is coming where I will have to get over him. And Vulcan responds, I'll be there with you when the time comes, and we'll break him to pieces. The White Clouds are getting ready for another great cataclysm. I don't think we have much time before that happens. We need to be stronger if we're going to stop them. And we need Arthur for that, which is why we're here now. And Yu is now like fully bought into to Arthur's delusions. I guess from the knock on the head. Is this a goblin's nest? And Yu is also like a battle post. A pack of giant rats are headed this way. So this scene up here, though, with Vulcan and Lisa, doesn't quite do enough to really handle the Lisa problem, but it shows at least that Ohkubo is interested in rectifying something with Lisa, as he's already done with Tamaki through the Stigma arc, and Nether 2 and Stigma, to an extent. Tamaki still has some problems, but we see he's kind of trying to do that here with Lisa, and I hope he explores that further, because Lisa has been just kind of a weird character ever since her return on Holy Salt Temple. Anyway, still, how can his wild delusions be more productive than specialized training? What are these powers of ours? And what the hell is a Dola? So that's actually an interesting thing I haven't really thought about. Because I've always considered Arthur's, his sense of self as a knight being what powers him is kind of like this funny little joke. But here, Vulcan's kind of looking at it as an actual... It's not that, like, Arthur gives in more output, the more... So, I think, let me try to rephrase that a little bit. I had thought that Arthur puts in more output of flame powers he already has the more into the delusion he is. So it's more like a mental block. That if Arthur is in his, aware that he's a firefighter, he only has so much power. But when the more he is in the night delusion, the more of the power he already has, he's letting out. So I didn't figure there was a physical change in Arthur's power, but just in, a mental block. But this line, how can his wild delusions be more productive than specialized training, followed by, what are these powers of ours? That directly, along with what the hell is a Dola, links those latter two questions with Arthur being powered up by delusions, implying that it's not quite what I was thinking. That being a knight actually gives him more firepower, more than lets him access firepower within him that he's not always using. So that's an interesting thing about Arthur. Anyway, sometime later, Vulcan finally, snaps at Arthur. Hey, Arthur, you're the one who dragged us down here, so I assume there's a point to all this? Lisa turns to Vulcan. Vol, are we going to be able to get out? Mazes are just like circuit boards. I'll remember the way out. Hold up, and Arthur stops them. There's something deeper in. That gets Vulcan's attention. You know, I was young when my father and mother disappeared. They said they were off to save the world. I'm certain they went on their own adventure like this. Another thing I brought up earlier, finally being brought up in the same chapter, which is kind of odd. We've been at this for an hour already. Let's let him keep at it until he's satisfied. There's bound to be a ton of metal down here. We just need to find something we can call orichalcum. Then I should be able to swap it out for the alloy I have ready. But if we keep playing this game, we're going to end up deeper in the Nether. That's dangerous. Alright, I know. Let's whip out the final boss and call it a day. And Vulcan looks kind of confused at that, and Arthur gets shocked. Oh, as Lisa summons her flame tentacles that aren't connected to her right now. So that's a thing I did not know she could do. I thought her tentacles were had to be connected to her, but apparently not. Turn back. I am the ruler of the abyss. You will not take the orichalcum which lies ahead. Turn back. And she's trying to ventriloquist her voice over to the tentacles, but it's not working, as even Arthur catches on. Lisa, honestly, be an adult. You're setting a bad example for you. He's more perceptive than I thought, and here I made an ass of myself for his sake. Stop making things worse, Lisa. Things like that are going to ruin the adventure. We've already been at this for an hour. I'm sick of it. This whole thing has already turned me into an overgrown child. And Arthur is already not paying attention. You lost him, Lisa-san. And Arthur's yawning. I'm gonna kill him! You stupid son of a bitch! You just moseyed us right into hell! I'm gonna show you who's boss around here! And Vulcan, physically restraining Lisa. Lisa, calm down. We're doing this to save Tokyo. And Arthur suddenly focuses. What's with you? Why do you suddenly get all serious? I sense something. Is this finally gonna be what Joker was talking about last week? Haha, cut it out, Arthur. We're in the Nether. And Vulcan stops you. Arthur, you being serious? And Lisa looks on. Stand back. I sense two people. They're coming this way. This isn't good. You don't have Excalibur right now. A knight wouldn't let a little thing like that get to him. My mother and father are out there right now, fighting to save the world. I'll send them flying with a knightly martial arts Avalon stance, just as mother and father would. Hey, wait a second. He senses two people, right? He said that? Yeah, he senses two people. His mother and father have all of a sudden been brought back as a thing he's constantly talking about this chapter. And we know there's someone in the Nether who Joker thinks is opposed to the Empire. What if that is Arthur's parents? I don't know. We'll find out. And this mist comes in. Who's there? Look at that. It is Arthur. Long time, son. I knew it. I was right. Ha! It's fucking Arthur's parents! What the fuck? Okay. Wow. I don't actually know how to take this. Mother? Father? What? Mother, father, what's he... Ah! Why are you here of all places? Team Vulcan is just utterly shocked at this. Didn't we tell you, Arthur? No, no, and Vulcan turns back. Eh? To our beloved son Arthur, your mother and father have left on a journey to save the world. The castle is now yours. From this day onward, you are the king. And that's the letter from way back in Arthur's flashback in the 90s. Father, you don't mean... Wait, hold on. And Vulcan has like just popped up right next to Arthur's dad, who's like, eh? Yep, you got it. You were out saving the world. Did you? Oh, that's not Vulcan's dad. That's just Vulcan in a really weird face. Never mind. You were out saving the world. And Lisa and you turn to Vulcan. Did you plan this too, Vulcan? How the hell would I have done that? Ah! Miraculous reunion in the Nether. Just what will the reappearance of his parents bring? To be continued, chapter 204, The Night King's Family. Alright, so, the Boyles are back. I was not ever expecting that. I guess that does make sense, though, because they did, like, leave that letter, and, like, what would it mean? You know? Like, what other, like, I don't know what else it would mean besides being completely honest. The metaphor is notwithstanding. But, like, that's not what you would say if they were being, like, killed by the Empire. What they would say if they were just abandoning him, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the Boyles are back. But there's a whole chapter before that. Which is still, like, the general farce that this, Orichalcum arc has been giving us up to this point. What with, Arthur's refusal to listen to reason in any way. But interspersed with it, we do have some fairly serious character work, especially with Lisa. It does give me some, as I said earlier, it does give me some hope that Ohkubo is actually going to do something with Lisa. Because she's just kind of been there for most, if not all of since her return in, at the end of the Sol Temple arc. And then, of course, we have the Boyles, who I'm still predicting are the people Joker were talking about last week, people in the Nether who are opposed to the Empire, which would explain why they've been hiding out in the Nether, though why exactly they left, what their true goals are, who they are, is still all up in the air. But yeah, the Boyles are back. And that is not where I ever expected this arc to go, or the series to go, or anything to go. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what comes of that happening. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, you know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!